What's up, guys? This isn't a review or anything like that. It's something I haven't done before on this channel in the time that I've had it. The one thing I haven't done on this channel is response videos, because I notice most of the people that do response videos get sucked into drama as soon as they do one. So it's something I've avoided doing, but there has come a video that cannot go without being responded to. So, without any further ado and with all the respect I can muster, this is my response to WrestlingJesus' 10 reasons why John Cena is better than TNA. Yeah, one guy is better than a whole company. I'm not going to sit here and knock WrestlingJesus, because by all means he's entitled to his own opinion, but just got to one I couldn't really wrap my head around, and anybody over the age of 10 probably agrees with me. So I'm just going to go through his points. I'm going to toss my point of view in on top, and that's going to be it. Okay, so point one, John Cena draws a bigger crowd. Now that is a bit of bullshit right there. WWE, for sure, draws a larger crowd than TNA. But you can't attribute that all to one guy, especially when half the crowd can't stand him. WWE itself draws a bigger crowd for two reasons. A, they've been around a hell of a lot longer. They've developed enough of a following that they can get into larger venues, because they're a more well-known name, because TNA's only been around, what, 8-9 years? And second is for the parent factor. And this is what I mean by the parent factor. I went to the TNA live show in Toronto yesterday, Friday. I went by myself because I am an adult. Now, most WWE fans are 10 or 11, and unless they have the most neglectful parents in the world, they're not going by themselves. They're going, and they're going with whatever adult is bringing them. So now you've got me, who's going by myself, who's 100% interested in the product. You've got a kid and their parent, where one of them gives a shit about what's going on in the product. So cut WWE's population at an event at least in half, and then get back to me on that one. Now, point two, he says most TNA fans are bored, and when you see Cena, you're either really happy or really angry. Now, people that are really happy when they see Cena, I say again, WWE is aimed at kids. Kids are easy to please. John Cena being the personification of that kid crowd movement. Yeah, anybody that is really, really super stoked to see John Cena is either 5 or a mark or a big fucking WWE sheep. Yes. Now, John Cena gets a lot of boos. That doesn't mean he's getting all this emotion from the crowd. That means people in the crowd are sick of seeing him and would rather see somebody better. So the fact that he gets booed doesn't mean he's doing something properly. Oh no, it does not. Sorry, I try to be open-minded. I can't follow the logic of that. Somebody that's being a face. If he was a heel, I would say for sure the loud boos that he gets would be a legitimate indicator that he's doing what he should be doing and getting all the heat that he can get. But he's a face. He's never going to be a heel again. Vince McMahon won't let it happen. The last time he was remotely entertaining was when he was a heel. I'll say that. Back, when he won the U.S. title from Big Show. Point number 3 that WrestlingJesus made was he's straight or drug-free. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that drugs are a good thing. Oh, no. Please don't misquote me on that. What I am going to say is, unless it affects what they've done in the ring, as a fan, I don't give a shit. What I'm going to say is, if they put on a good show for me, what they do behind their closed doors is their own business. And I'm going to say, I have not heard a single person in TNA do an anti-drug promotion or walk out there and say that they are straight edge, you know, this and that, whatever. There's no CM Punks in TNA right now, so that's an issue for them to deal with their bosses or whoever they answer to. That's not an issue that they need to deal with us. Cena has better promos. That's point 4, and that is flat out bullshit. Now, you have a couple of different things you get from Cena in a promo. You get lame jokes where he sits there with a big cartoon smile on his face and waits for people to laugh like a comedian that has bad timing. He raps badly, so badly that it has to be on purpose. And the third thing is, I can only bring up his back and forth with The Rock. When The Rock came back before WrestleMania, Rock came out, made his return, cut a nice 20-minute promo on a bunch of people. Most of that time was dedicated to John Cena, and had the crowd in the palm of his hand after not even being there in 7 years. John Cena, who's been there the entire time The Rock's been gone and more, came out the following week, did a 5-minute shitty rap thing. Majority of it was him in one way or another calling The Rock gay, and that is just lazy. Wrestling Jesus says, name anybody in TNA that'll cut a good promo. Let's see. Ric Flair, Sting, Angle, and even more importantly these days, Robbie Roode. Try to debate me on that one. Point 5, Cena's paid more. The amount of money Cena makes is probably hand over fist, I will give you that. That has nothing to do with what he does in the ring. WWE needs to look PG, needs to look politically correct, needs to look child-friendly, so that they can sell their product to kids' parents. They needed a poster boy for that movement. They said, John, here we go. You're going to be our bitch. You're going to bend over and look like a tool on a daily basis, and in return, we're going to give you a shit ton of money and never let anybody beat you. That's what that did right there, and that's all I'm going to say about the money that John Cena makes. John Cena sells merchandise. This is a scraping the bottom of the barrel, flimsy argument, because the only person that should care how much merchandise John Cena is selling is the WWE brass. If I go to a WWE show, don't care if the guy next to me is wearing a John Cena shirt or not. I'll guarantee you that I'm not. When you go to a WWE show, the swag shops are saturated with John Cena merchandise, and everything else runs out quickly. So if you want a souvenir at all, you have either a John Cena shirt or a generic WWE shirt to choose from eventually. And that's so that they can flood the audience with John Cena merch, so that he looks more popular, so that he can stay the face, so that he can stay making the company look good and PC and PG to the parents and the companies that they are trying to deal with. Oh yes, they pay him a lot of money, and they make a lot of John Cena merch because he's agreed to be their tool. Yes, it has. John Cena has better matches, is point 7. John Cena's matches, especially on a pay-per-view Sunday, like tomorrow, are my piss break during a show, whether it's Raw, whether it's whatever. They're predictable, because you know WWE doesn't let him lose except for 1 time out of 10 if there's bullshit involved. They're boring as sin, and the guy has maybe 5 or 6 moves to his name. You know, if you see him in a match, you're going to see him shoulder tackle somebody, you're going to see him bulldog somebody. 5-knuckle shuffle, attitude adjustment, STF. He's not going to sell anything or anybody else. He doesn't do a thing to help anybody else that he's in the ring with. As a matter of fact, give him a blonde mullet, let him do a leg drop, and call him this century's Hulk Hogan. Oh, yes. Now, a little side note on this. Anytime anybody wants to make fun of TNA, or specific people in TNA, comparing them to specific people in WWE, they always feel the need to knock the cruiserweights or the X Division or whatever what you want to call the lighter weight. Oh, they're just a bunch of flippy botchy guys. Now, they make fun of the flips and jumps and high-flying acrobatics of the X Division because 9.5 times out of 10, they know the guys that they're marking out for couldn't do half the shit that the guys in TNA do. They make fun of them for botching and all this and all that, which is horrible, because at least these guys are willing to try. John Cena, he shoulder tackles somebody. What do? You run to them, they run to you, one of you falls over. Attitude adjustment. Oh, I'm going to pick you up, and I'm going to put you down. I'm sorry, I would rather see Kaz pull off the flux capacitor than see somebody sit there and pretend that the STFU hurts. That's it. John Cena is stronger. That is more than irrelevant. I didn't come to see an Olympic deadlift competition. I came to see entertaining in-ring matches. If strength was what made you a superstar, Mark Henry would be the world champion right now, and he's not. He's never going to be, because that's all he has. Sorry. And in some cases, I would rather see Mark Henry than John Cena. Oh, yes. Point 9. John Cena is sexier than anybody in TNA. I am sorry. I was just a couple days ago 3 rows away from Angelina Love and a bunch of the TNA knockouts, and I'm a straight guy. I would rather see that than John Cena. Not going to lie. The C Nation is better than the TNA marks. The C Nation is the biggest flock of WWE sheep since the company's inception. End of story. That's about it. John Cena is the tool that is going to squash everybody else in WWE. John Cena does nothing for the company, whether they realize it or not. They've made him the poster child so he can never lose, and they know that he sucks. They have to know that he sucks, because here's what they do. Anytime anybody else shows flashes of looking amazing, like, say, CM Punk, Dolph Ziggler, The Miz, I'm only going to give you 3 examples. I'm lazy. It's like midnight here. Anytime any of those guys show glimpses of being amazing, it's like, maybe John Cena's not so good. They quickly throw him into a squash match with Cena so that 1 or 2 things happens. People watch the match. People see that guy lose horribly to Cena. They lose any momentum they had. Or, B, people like me are like, oh, it's a Cena match, and turn the fuck over. That's what John Cena is doing to the WWE right now. And there's not a chance in hell that one guy is better than a whole company. I don't care what company you're talking about. Wrestling Jesus, you do great shit on here. I had to respond to this, though. I will talk to you guys all later. I've been Spaz. Subscribe up there. I'd love to hear you guys talk down there. I will talk to you later. Bye.